Hello everyone, and welcome again to another LEGO Bionicle video. For today guys, I'm going to be showing you all my Toa Makuta Moc. Now, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily a Toa, just because obviously Toas are heroes, but he's more of a creature of the darkness. And I'll obviously go into more detail about the storyline very soon. Here's just a quick snapshot of my my Moc I should say, and of course my Moc creature there. But anyway guys, that's just showing you a brief image. Let's get straight into the storyline. So of course guys, as you all know, in the description you should know what the name is. It is known as Makuta Dicurax. Now you may be thinking, why Makuta Dicurax? Well, I really wanted to bring back the G1 Makuta theme. As you all know, we have Makuta Dicurax and Makuta Pterodax. Now both of them unfortunately were deceased. They got killed in action against the likes of Takanuva and Mata Nui, or I should say Toa Mata Nui, unfortunately. But the whole idea is that I wanted to bring back another, version of those Makutas, and here it is, as you can see in front of you. Now, to the storyline. Now, this is meant to be an alternative storyline to the original D2 Bionicle series, and this is how it goes. So, originally, we all know Makuta, the mask maker, is very envious of his brother Ikimu, just because the Akotan villagers prefer his masks, and because they think Makuta is just, bad, and, he doesn't have a good influence on the Akotan villagers. He's just got this evil vibe to himself, and that's the storyline I'm going to stick to. However, he made the Mask of Ultimate Power, and unfortunately got it destroyed by Ikimu. So Ikimu destroyed it. So originally we know Makuta builds the Mask of Ultimate Power. He wanted to build the most powerful mask to prove to the Akotan people that he can build something, with enormous amount of power. Ikimu came just in time and destroyed it. Makuta, unfortunately being heartbroken, crushed for what happened, he runs away, finding a source of power more evil, more powerful than, of course, the Mask of Ultimate Power. So, he goes on a massive journey, looking far and wide. He sees what is known as just the cave, but he finds out it is known as the Cave of Shadows and Darkness. So, of course, shadows and darkness go hand in hand, guys. He goes inside, and he finally saw what he was seeking for, guys. The Forbidden Stone of Darkness. Something evil, something superior in power to crush his brother. He saw it with the most evil gaze. He said to himself, finally, the source that I've been looking for to defeat my brother Ikimu. And so with that, guys, he touched it, unlocking the full power, thus giving him the power of darkness and shadows, thus making Makuta Dicurax the creature of darkness. And that is practically it, guys. There he goes back and fights against his brother to take revenge. Who will win? Darkness against light. At the end, the winner and the almighty powerful Makuta Dicurax wins the battle against Ikimu with a big slash and bang with his hammer of darkness, destroying Ikimu, putting him to sleep, crumbling him into pieces into the dust of the Akotan island, leaving Makuta Dicurax to lead the Akotan villagers and to rule until the day of the G3 Bionicle Toas. And so in the end, Ikimu unfortunately loses, having to fall to sleep, waiting for the next generation of Bionicles to enter and to finally take their place, removing all evil, destroying, obliterating all evil for good. Until that day comes, we will never know. Dun dun dun. So you may be thinking, guys, why G3? Well, just because at the end of the day, you want evil to win for once. It's always the Toas just coming in and they just somehow win. So I thought a change, for once evil wins, they take control until the end of the universe, moving on towards G3. So it's a different story. Obviously, my storyline isn't the best. It's maybe something that you guys may not like, but I thought that would be an alternative storyline, Makuta Dicurax defeating the likes of Ikimu, the almighty Toa of Light. Since, obviously being the Toa of Light, it is quite hard to defeat the legendary Toa of Light. So, at the end of the day, the creature of Shadow, or the Toa of Shadow, however you want to call him, at the end of the day, is the one who prevails and wins it for the villains. But I think that is pretty much it. Now to move on to the set. So starting off with the lower half of the body, you can see there are the Toa feet in the gold there. The only difference is that I've just spray painted them in the black matte color just because he touched the forbidden stone of darkness. No one's ever meant to touch it, and he touched it. It practically engulfed his body, overpowered his body, and given him this evil amount of darkness power, and it's just taking over, and that's why he's slowly starting to go darker and darker and darker. You can see the gold slowly disappearing, you know, as you all know, because in the mask maker form he's just practically gold and trans purple. Here you can see now he's going black. He's going into that evil dark color that I personally love. Now you can see there just a bit of gold going on, and as mentioned, that's the whole idea. You can also see that I've given him some nice spiked armor shells there in the for his feet. For his shin there. I thought it would be a great idea to implement something like that, you know, something rough and tough. And I thought it looked really good. You can also see that I've spray painted a size 5 golden armor shell there as well. That's connected to his, you know, the bone limb piece there. So that was a nice touch as well. You know, obviously, as I mentioned, the darkness is starting to take over his body, and I just love that concept, to be honest. Now here you can see here I've added in the, I guess you would call them crystal cluster armor shells or something like that. I thought I'd add those in, you know, as mentioned, just to keep up with the trans purple theme that he does have originally with the mask maker. So here I thought it would be, you know, it's an aggressive look, and that's the reason why I added those in. I thought they looked really nice on him, and you know, simple but very nice. And of course you can see I've given him the standard trans purple limb pieces there for the upper half of his leg, and of course I've just added in some friction pieces, so then of course you can get some reasonable amount of articulation and preventing his leg to be, you know, super loose and all that stuff. So in terms of articulation, there's a reasonable good amount of articulation there, so you can move the leg up and down, which is great, and you can move the knee joint up and down, but you can't move it forward, unfortunately, just because of the armor shell here, the spiked armor shell, so that's unfortunate, but still you can get some back movement there, so you can get some nice poses, and of course standard typical you know, articulation in the feet there. Now you can also see I've added in a black Borok piece. Now this was originally meant to be maroon. I spray painted it in the black matte color there just because you know, added theme just to the feet there, give them, you know, something just a bit more instead of just having plain old you know, Toa feet there. So that was just the whole idea. So now looking at the back, you can see that I've implemented, oh sorry about the camera there, I've implemented the G2, as you all know, articulation in the waist there, so I thought that would be a great idea, you know, obviously for posing the set in different ways, so that was a great idea. I thought I'd add those in. And not only that, you can see here, this is practically the only golden piece that hasn't been fully, you know, engulfed or overcome by the darkness. So you can see there, it's still a bit gold, it has a bit of darkness there, and I have spray painted it just a bit to show that the darkness is starting to slowly overcome his body. Unfortunately, it doesn't overcome the trans purple just because the trans purple just looks so good on the set, and it just goes well with the black or even with the gold, to be honest. So I left it as trans purple. The only thing is the gold bits that I actually did spray paint there, but you get the idea. I think it looks nice, and overall that's the I guess the concept that I was just trying to portray. So you can see in the upper half of the body I've given him a gear function as well. As we all know, with the Ikimu, the Toa of Light, he has a single gear function for his left arm that holds the Hammer of Power. Well, for Makuta Dicurax, I gave him a double gear function, so both arms function with the gears, and I'll show you how. Now, unfortunately, it is a bit, you know, rigid, just because, you know, his Hammer of Darkness there is quite big and heavy. So it does work though, so you can see, if I just push that out there, so yeah, the gear function does work, you can see there. So it is a bit rough, but by no means, it still works very nicely there. And same thing on the other side as well, so there we go. So there you can see the gear function there. Works very nicely, and still, you know, still good. And also in the back, I have also added in these back blades here, similarly to the Shadow Titan Makuta. As you all know, these can articulate, they can move up and down. You can position them to however you want. I thought it would be a great idea. Now, unfortunately, they don't really go up that much, just because there's a piece here that hinders the movement. But nonetheless, you can still move them down, you know, left, right, just like that. So it's a great thing to add in the back there, just because, you know, the back is obviously one of the weakest points of, I guess, any Bionicle set. You know, you can just come from the back and just attack them. So here, it's a bit difficult, so you might have to be careful, whoever fights against Makuta Dicurax. Now looking at the arms here, you can see that I've given him the standard size 4 trans armor shell there. Now this is in the purple, of course, as you can see there. I just kept it as it is, just because, you know, what's the point of adding in something else there. And of course, I've added in another trans 4 armor shell here in the purple as well. And now it's covered in by this standard external armor shell here. Now this is meant to be, I think, from Anua. It has the, I guess, the trans white kind of look, translucent or transparent look. And I've had to kind of spray paint it there, as mentioned, just to cover up the, you know, I guess not to cover up, sorry, but to show the darkness, as mentioned. You know, it's starting to take over his body, and it's, you know, you can see it seep through, and it's just coming all the way down, slowly, until he becomes super powerful there. So I guess Ikumu has to fight against time to, you know, stop him before he goes full-on creature of darkness, and you know, practically release his ultimate potential, and his practically unlocking his full power there. But yeah, that is pretty much it. You can also see here, guys, if I just zoom in there for you all, I've given him claws instead of just typical, you know, Toa hands. You know, think outside the box, guys, and that's exactly what I did here. I think these look great in the trans purple there. Very nice touch. And of course, you can see this little piece here. This is just going to be used for the, as you all know, well, you don't know it yet. I'll have to explain to you later, but it's going to be the shield, and I'll give you the name of it later on. But here you can see, as mentioned, so great articulation there. You can move that around. Unfortunately, you can't move the hands. You can only move it up and down there. So as you can see, just like that. Let me just enhance the image because it's quite blurry. Sorry guys, this DSLR is quite bad, but as you can see there, so that's just like that. You can move it left and right, but the main cool thing about it is just moving the fingers there, just like that. So that's pretty cool. So now look at the front of the body. You can see here I've just used the typical standard Anua 2016 body piece. I just used it because it goes so well with the set, and because it covers I guess a lot of the set, to be honest. I guess they're all the same, but I don't know, I just picked Anua because it just looked good. And I have, obviously you can tell that I've spray painted it there in the black matte color. So that's the first part that practically engulfed his body with darkness. You can see there it's just fully on black. And there you can also see the mask of control, but now it's called the mask of darkness, just because you can see that the mask is being engulfed by the darkness there. Just look at it, guys. You can see part of his mask there, not yet, you know, taken over by the darkness. It's almost being taken over, and I guess that's what I was trying to portray there. Beautiful, I have to say, especially with the trans yellow Bionicle headpiece there. It definitely just makes him much more evil than the usual. You can just look at that, guys. Imagine something like that staring you down. I've used the trans purple it's not trans purple, the trans orange or trans reddish orange brain stock there in the back. Now unfortunately you can't really see it that well, but come on guys, that has to be super evil to you. I think it does. It just looks so good there, and I'm just a big fan of the masks, just because obviously I guess it's my work, and I'm really proud of it, to be honest. I love how I actually got it right, you know, the consistency of the paint there, and the amount I really wanted, and it just looks really great there. Now not only that, you can see I've also added in horns there, just because I guess the element of darkness is kind of coming through, and the devilish type of look there as well is coming through, so I added those in. You know, obviously you just don't want a typical mask there. You want to add a bit of element, and I guess a bit more to the headpiece there, and that's exactly what I've done there. And I've also spray painted these I guess thorn pieces, if that's what you call them, in the so you can see they're kind of unfortunately it's kind of you know, coming off a bit there, but I've spray painted those in the black matte color there as well. But there, as you can see, is the mask, and of course you can get some, you know, a good articulation there, just like that, and of course up and down as well. But just check that out, guys. Just imagine that gazing into your eyes. Isn't that scary? I find that super scary. And here is just a close-up for you all, so then you guys can have nightmares. No, I'm just joking. But there you can see, guys, here's a close-up of it. And as mentioned, just look at it, guys, there. That's the only gold bit, and the rest is engulfed with darkness there. Wow, check that out. That is so cool. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. So finally, just to quickly show you the shoulder armor pieces I attached onto this awesome set, just before I show you the weapons, and of course wrap it up by showing you my mock creature for Makuta Dicurax. So here, as you can see, are just standard external armor shells there. Now if I take this off, you can see that I've also added in, come on, come off. Why is it not coming off? There we go. Oh, sorry about that, guys. You can see that I've added in these armor shells that you have seen before in one of my Bricklink orders. This is like it's kind of like used as clothes as well as armor shells for the shoulders. I thought they looked good because they were quite big and broad, and I wanted to give them that bulk, you know, just to make them I guess, bigger than what he should be, and I think it looks great on the set. Same thing, of course, on the other side there, as you can see. So I thought that looked great, and you can also see I've also spray painted majority of it in the black matte color, but I've still kind of kept the gold there, as mentioned, because the darkness is taking over his body. So here is what is known as the Hammer of Darkness. Now this is a beautiful weapon that I created. Now at the end of the day, I guess you all know that Makuta the mask maker has a black and purple, or trans purple I should say, hammer. Now the hammer doesn't necessarily have a name, that's unfortunate, but here, as you all know, this is known as the Hammer of Darkness, just because it has a bit of black going on, and you know, I thought I'd keep in the trans purple theme going on with his weapon, and I think it looks really great. So you can see I've used the half stars here, attached on by some axle pieces, and of course here's another one here, and I've just added in the armor cluster shell, or armor shell there. Now this thing can kind of move, that's alright, but nonetheless it still looks great. Now of course in the back here, as you all know, his tail originally, or not his tail, his original hammer in the mask maker form is, you know, he has the tail for this. I've added in 3 here, you know, just to show that it's an advanced weapon. It has more of a larger tail, and you know, just to kind of portray the idea. I thought it looked pretty cool. So just to show you how I attach on the weapon, so you can see here is the hand connector piece there. So that's meant to be the hand, and you can see the trans purple claws there. And of course that's just meant to, yeah, I guess portray the idea that he's holding the weapon like that. But it's held in by 2 connector pieces there. So this is for the weapon, and this is just for the hand. And it's simply enough. You just connect in the axle piece. I don't know why I couldn't get the words out. And just to, you know, push this down for now, and it should connect on. There we go. So just like that, and then obviously, you know, push those in closer, so then it's if he's grappling the weapon. So just like that. So as we all know, the Toa of Light Ikimu has 2 weapons. He has the Crystal Hammer and he has the Crystal Sword. Now unfortunately, the Hammer of Power is the mask maker weapon. I'm so sorry about that, guys. The crystal hammer is for the Toa of Light Ikimu. Anyway, aside from that, here is what is known as the Merciless Soul of Darkness, gifted by the Forbidden Stone of Darkness. So that is the weapon there, guys. You can see that originally that it would have been in gold, but because the darkness engulfs him, it is slowly turning into black, the evil dark shadow. And there it is, as you can see. So of course you can see it spins there. That's pretty cool, right? But of course at the same time I can move it to his hand. So I kind of portrayed the idea that it's meant to be similar to the Toa of Light Ikimu, and I've kind of placed it in just like how, you know, Ikimu, the Toa of Light, has it as well. So that's what it looks like there. And I've just added in this half star here, and I've spray painted it. It's originally in trans purple, and I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. I really like it. Anyway, I'll show you an up close image of it, and then I'll place it on his hand. So here's the weapon up close. You can see it's got a bronzy dark color there. I really like it, to be honest. Here you can see it's kind of more goldy there. Now the reason why it's like that, oh, you can see, oh, a bit of gray there. Oh, that is not good. I'm gonna have to spray paint that later. But anyway, the reason why is he has this weapon, I should say. The reason why is because, as mentioned, he was gifted this weapon, but because, you know, as he touched the Forbidden Stone of Darkness, technically he's still in his gold form, kind of, because it takes time for the darkness to fully engulf and, you know, take over his body. So that's why there's still a bit of gold going on and not just fully black. So that's kind of the idea I wanted to portray, and I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. I really like it. Anyway, now to place it on his hand. And you can also see also there a bit of trans purple, because this is a half trans purple star there. So I had to spray paint it, but anyway. Okay, so how you attach it on, it means that you're gonna have to remove this piece here, and of course this is just attached onto the leg piece, so you're gonna have to put that to the side temporarily, and all you gotta do is just attach it on, simply enough. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay, it may require a bit of you know, steady hands there, but there you go. Now it's held in nicely, just like so. And so there you have it, guys. That is practically it. So now you can see that it does spin, so that's pretty cool. So there you can see the Merciless Soul of Darkness. I was gonna say destruction, but it's darkness there. So there is practically my review done on this beautiful set, and I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it's something I'm gonna definitely keep, and it is Makuta Dicurax, the Creature of Darkness, or even Toa, I guess temporarily, because he is the size of a Toa, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, that is pretty much it. So this is his mock creature and companion, and this is known as Ganis the Shadow Dog. Now the reason why I kind of named it Ganis, just because, I don't know, it sounded like a cool name, and I don't think it's a name that's ever been used maybe, but anyway, there you can see is its head. Now of course it's just a flipped around piece of Dicurax head, but I don't know, that looks pretty cool there. Kind of has that dog type of look, so that's the reason why, whoopsies, that's the reason why I added it in like that. And of course you can see his antennas there, so that's pretty cool as well. Now it's just pretty standard. You can see there's just a standard 8-rib armor shell there, and of course just this gunmetal armor or shoulder piece there. I've added that in to kind of you know, give the head a bit of a lift there, so that looks pretty cool. And then of course I've just added in a small little limb piece there, just to, you know, obviously let the head extend out, and just adding in some, you know, some standard, I guess, claw pieces there, and just using, you know, protector feet in the black there. And I've also added in some just, you know, purple barb pieces there, or claw pieces in the back as well. And the thing is though, he is a very loyal companion. He will do anything for Makuta Dicurax, fight to the end, do whatever he can, and of course he is kind of like a messenger to other villains out there. So he has a big role in Makuta Dicurax's plans and in his, I guess, in his life and in the storyline, I guess. Phew! Finally guys, there we have it. That is my review done on my almighty Makuta Moc. I'm really sorry that took forever guys, but I had to give you an in-depth explanation on the set and of course on the creature as well as the storyline. But there you go guys, that is my mock done on Makuta Dicurax and of course his creature and companion Ganis the Shadow Dog. I really all hope you have enjoyed this guys. If you have, please support this and smash that thumbs up button, and of course subscribe to the channel. I really all hope you have enjoyed this guys, because I have personally really have enjoyed this, and you know, showcasing it to you all, sharing it with you, giving you my own alternative storyline, and you know, just kind of sharing my ideas with you of, I guess, how I build my MOCs. But there you have it guys, that is pretty much it. As always, stay tuned for many more awesome videos. I got many more Let's Builds and reviews to show you. I'm just hoping my other Bricklink orders come in time soon, because I can't wait to show you these brand new sets that I did buy. But on another note guys, we are finally on the road to 1K, and from there, of course, as mentioned, I will be doing another giveaway, a couple of sets, of course, for you awesome people out there. Anyway, guys, thank you again so much for watching. Please smash that thumbs up button. I beg you, if you have enjoyed this. I guess if you give me a thumbs down, you have to let me know why you would give me a thumbs down. I need to know why, just because I like to know these things. What can I improve on it, I should say. So if you do give me a thumbs down, I need to know why. That's a big thing for me, so then I can improve on in the future. As mentioned guys, everyone needs to improve. We all need to improve. We're all MOCs, you know, we're all there to build things, create things, and yeah, that is pretty much it. Anyway guys, have a great day. I will be talking to you guys all very, very soon. Bye bye.